Welcome to a Stat Recorder 3000 application overview. I'm going to be taking you through the app from start to finish. This will be a long video, so let's go ahead and get started. When you download the application, you're going to find yourself on this main screen. You have the configure your app here in the center, manage your players up in the upper left. You have a settings that'll bring you to FAQ, review the app, show help messages again, your subscription status, and my other apps that you can download at any given time by clicking on them. You also have up here the share button. So hopefully after you like the app, you will share it on your social media and with your friends. But let's get started with managed players. So from here, we're going to start by adding our first player. I'm going to add Rylan E. I'm going to give number 6. Default position is left forward, and birth date, we're going to go sometime way in the past, like 2001. And we're going to hit back, and we're going to hit save. Would you like to save these changes? Yes, I would. And now I have Rylan as a player. I'm also going to add another one, which will be Mike, and we'll go M, player number 85, default position center mid, birthday, 2013, doesn't matter. And we'll hit save again. So now we have 2 players. We can go back into these players at any given time. We can look at their player stats. We can add notes, we can see which games they've played in, or we can take a look at the shots that they've played in, all those things, once we have a game set. Now, after we have players, we're going to manage teams. So we're going to go up here and we're going to add a team. So we're going to add Sports FC. We're going to give it a default formation of a 4-4-2. We can change all the different numbers here. So let's say that they only play 25-minute halves by default. The clock's going to go up. We can add coach information, manager information, league information, and we can even change the jersey. Now, my players are there. I'm going to need to add them to the roster. So I'm going to select Mike, and then I'm going to select Rylan. And once again, we have no games. That feature is going to be coming soon from here. We're going to hit back. We're going to hit save, and now we have that. Now, if we go back in here, we can hit back. They no longer need me to add to save anything. So now a few more buttons have opened up here. We have player stats, which is going to show you all the stats for the players. We have review past games, which there are currently none. And we're going to start a new game. Now, on this game here, we can say test opponent as the team we're playing. Opponent FC. We're going to need to create a season. So right now it's winter, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new season called winter. And I'm going to select that season here. We see that the number of periods is 2, starting period is 1, number of minutes per period is 25, which is what I said is the default, and we have extra time is 10 minutes. We'll set this as a home game, which is that little button up there on the top, and we're going to hit create. And here we go. We're on the game screen. You're going to get this nice little welcome message that talks about the start button and all that stuff. We're going to hit go. Subs is another thing we're going to talk about. And then the game log, which is up here on the top. Oh, and playtime. So up here at the very top, you're going to find log, game, shots. Those are 3 different views of the game at any given moment. On the bottom, we have a roster where we're allowed to add guest players. We're going to be adding a new feature called Fair Playtime, which will allow coaches to set the fair playtime for players and track that on the player tab here. We have the ability to, we have this team stats portion here, which, is a independent line. We have the ability to add a game note. And then the last button over here is the quick sub. So quick sub is where we are allowed to drag and drop people onto the field like so. And when we're done with them, we can drag them out. So right now, let's go ahead and drag them back into position. We're going to hit back. And if we were over here on the players, you're going to notice that the player has changed from being a light gray to now a dark blue, which means that they're in. We also have this bar in the center, which is the possession bar. The possession bar allows you to track passing stats as well as possession time there in the main one. It's got a sound and vibration part, so folks don't have to pay too much attention to the game if they're just tracking possession. So we're actually going to hide the possession bar. So we went up there to the menu and we're going to hit hide possession bar. And now we're there. So we're going to start the game. And you can see that the amount of seconds are going up. Let's say that we wanted to sub Rylan out. We click on Rylan and we'd hit sub out. And now all of a sudden Rylan's out. His total playtime, which is that bottom number there, is 9. And his total playtime out is the one that's incrementing. Mike, on the other hand, who's been in this whole time, is incrementing that way. Let's say that Mike at this point gets a cross off. So we'd hit plus cross. And that would be there. Now we can always look to see what we just did here on this screen. So we can see that Mike had the cross there. We can go ahead and swipe right on these things and we can edit the event. We can share the event or we can delete the event. All those things. We also have the ability to pause the timer just in case like there's been a water break or something. And we have the ability to press the buttons up here, which is our team scores for both away and home. That's like a quick set for there. So let's say at the just past the 1 minute mark, Mike goes ahead and gets a goal. It was a subtype shot goal, and we're going to give him that location there. So that's fantastic. Now, if we went to the shots part, we're going to see that Mike is here. We're showing all the people on our team. The opposing team doesn't have any shots yet. I can filter on Mike. I can filter on Rylan. But right now we only have Mike. And we can actually show only the selected shot. Or we can show all shots. And if you click on the shot, it'll start to bounce up there, which shows you which one it is if you have a ton of different shots. On the team stats one, let's go ahead and first sub Rylan in again. On the team stats one, let's say that we give a corner kick to the opposing team, a goal kick to the opposing team. And then over here, we're going to give a goal kick. We're going to press goal kick. Well, we have the ability to give it to a team stat, which is Sports FC, or we can give it to any one of the players, right? So if I gave it to Rylan there, that's fine. And then we can give a free kick to Sports FC, or we can give another one to Sports FC there. And if we wanted to give the opposing team a goal, we could go over here to give them a goal. We can give it a subtype, or we can just hit continue. And we can give it a shot location if we want, right there. And just like that, we can now see under the shots for opposing teams that they got a goal right there, and it's an away goal. You have the ability, if you need to leave a game, you can abandon it. You can pause the timers from here as well. You can change different sorts. So like on the player menu here, you can sort by last name. You can sort by player number. You can sort by ascending. You can sort by in and out versus out, especially if you have a lot of people in the game, that's useful. So we're just going to end the period. We're going to say this half is over, yes. And we can go ahead and we can start again. And we're just going to say this half is over too because we want to go and show PKs. So at this point, we're going to say who's first? Well, it was my team. So we can go here. We can say that we made, and it was Mike first. And the opponent's team missed. Oh, and we made, so non-tracked player. Great. Missed over here. We'll say make non-tracked player, and we'll say, missed over here, and we would say, no, we're done. So at this point, we've completed a game. So now we can go to the review page, and we can scroll around, and we can see all the different stats in here. We can see that the score is tied 1-1. And we can see the shots from the mark and all that stuff down here. We can take a look here, going into the screen. So what I did there was I clicked on the actual name, and that brings me into the events for the screen, where we can see all the different events that occurred. We can add missing events if we need to. We can look at the player stats for that individual game and the breakdown of time and all that fun stuff. We can hit shots again and take a look at it. Or, one last thing. Or we can hit share. And we can share this by email. And we can see all of the stats that are there. We also send this in Max Preps version. We have a PDF, which allows you to see all the images, and then it's an Excel sheet as well. So there's a ton of different ways for you to get this data out of the application and onto your PC. We also have the ability there as well on this review screen to send another email. This will send you an Excel sheet that basically represents what's in here. And then we can also do the same thing in the player stats with email. We have the ability on the Teams page to export all of the team information here. So you can go and copy the Excel sheet that's generated with all the roster information and all the players. And we have the ability to go in here and send out all of the player data for a particular person. And once again, now that we have Mike, we can go and take a look at his shot location. We can see that there's a game that he's played in now, and we can go take a look. All of the stats here are only Mike's from that particular game. They're not the individual game ones. Okay, so that's fantastic. But what makes this app great is that you can customize the heck out of it. So under Configure App, we can go into Positions. We can add a new position if we wanted to. We can enable or disable certain positions. We can utilize different formations, or you can go and create your own formation. We do have that capability to where you can go and create your own super unique formation, which is awesome. We have the ability to add your own custom stat with your own image and everything that you want there. So you can make that however you want. You can enable and disable the stats that show up in each of the summaries and each of the pages. So like game stats, the charts, you can add whatever you want there. We have the ability to do auto increments. And if there's some missing there, please let me know. We have the ability to change the setup screen to where it looks different. And there's more that's coming there. And then we also have the ability to log into Twitter and to automatically send pre-constructed tweets to Twitter without leaving this application. So that is super, super cool. And the way that you would do that, by the way, is if you went to a review game and an event, once again, we would hit goal here. We could hit share. And right now it would show like goal test opponent. But we can do that all automatically. Where are we? There we go. So we can go back there and we are good to go. And I think that pretty much wraps up the app. I mean, at the end of it, please review the app. Please 5 stars. Please write something. If there's something wrong with the app, please reach out. The email is here under the About for contact us. It's obvisoftware@gmail.com. Look forward to you being part of the community. Thank you again for everyone who's helped up to this point. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you again.